Imagine a place on Earth so dangerous, so protected, or so mysterious that no civilian, tourist, or explorer is allowed to set foot there under any circumstance around the world. There are islands that officially exist on maps, are visible by satellite, and yet remain completely off limits to humanity. These forbidden islands are not restricted for one single reason. Some hide deadly biological threats, others protect isolated human tribes, and a few guard secrets that governments refuse to fully explain. What connects them is the same rule: approach too closely, and the consequences can be severe. In this video, we will travel to the most restricted islands on the planet, locations surrounded by warning signs, military patrols, and international laws. These are places where curiosity alone is enough to put lives at risk, and where stepping ashore could trigger imprisonment, disease, or even death. As we move through each island, pay attention to the reasons behind these bans, because in many cases, the truth is more unsettling than the legends that surround them. One of the most well-known forbidden islands is North Sentinel Island, located in the Bay of Bengal. This island is home to the Sentinelese people, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. For thousands of years, they've lived in complete isolation, rejecting any attempt at contact with extreme hostility. Boats that approach the shore are met with spears and arrows, and aircraft flying too low are attacked as well. The Indian government has made it illegal for anyone to come within several kilometers of the island, not only to protect outsiders, but to protect the Sentinelese themselves, because they have no immunity to common diseases. Even a simple flu virus could wipe out the entire population. Another restricted island is Ilha da Queimada Grande, also known as Snake Island, off the coast of Brazil. This island is forbidden due to the presence of thousands of highly venomous golden lancehead vipers, a species found nowhere else on Earth. The density of snakes is so extreme that stepping on land is considered almost certain death without specialized equipment. Moving across the globe, we encounter Gruinard Island in Scotland, a place once used for biological warfare experiments during World War II. The island was deliberately contaminated with anthrax spores, rendering it uninhabitable for decades. Even after extensive decontamination efforts, access remained restricted for years due to lingering concerns about safety. In the Pacific Ocean, Surtsey Island near Iceland is another location humans are not allowed to visit freely, formed by a volcanic eruption in the 1960s. Surtsey is a living laboratory where scientists study how life emerges on newly formed land. Human interference could disrupt decades of controlled observation, so only a small number of researchers are permitted to land there under strict rules. Finally, there is Area 51's lesser-known counterpart, Diego Garcia, a heavily militarized island in the Indian Ocean. While not mysterious in the supernatural sense, access is tightly controlled due to its strategic military importance, and civilians are strictly prohibited. These islands remind us that even in a world mapped and explored, there are still places humanity is not allowed to touch. Beyond these well-known examples, there are other islands where restriction is absolute and curiosity can be fatal. Poveglia Islandi, located near Venice, Italy, is officially closed to the public due to safety concerns, but its reputation goes far deeper. Once used as a quarantine zone during plague outbreaks and later as a psychiatric hospital, the island is filled with decaying structures and unstable ground, making access illegal. In Japan, Hashima Island, also called Battleship Island, was abandoned after its coal mines closed, and for decades it was forbidden due to the risk of collapsing buildings and toxic materials. Even today, only small guided areas are accessible, while most of the island remains off. In the Arctic, Svalbard's Bear Island is restricted due to extreme weather conditions and a high concentration of polar bears, making unauthorized landings incredibly dangerous. These bans are not based on mystery alone, but on calculated assessments of risk, where human presence would almost certainly lead to tragedy. There are also islands that remain forbidden, because they protect secrets humanity may never fully uncover. Some islands serve as nuclear testing sites, like Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands, where radiation levels still pose serious health risks decades after the last explosion. Others are restricted wildlife sanctuaries, where even a single human footprint could disrupt fragile ecosystems that took centuries to form. What makes these islands so fascinating is not just that they are closed, but that they challenge our belief that the entire planet belongs to us. These forbidden lands act as reminders that there are limits to exploration. Places where nature, history, or survival itself draws an invisible line. As technology advances and the world becomes more accessible, these islands stand frozen in time, guarded by laws, danger, and silence. And perhaps the greatest mystery of all is not what exists on these islands, but what would happen if humanity ever ignored the warnings and stepped ashore anyway? As we reach the end of this journey through the most forbidden islands on Earth, one question remains lingering in the air. Should every place on this planet truly be explored, or are some locations meant to remain untouched forever? These islands exist as powerful reminders that danger, history, science, and respect for life can outweigh human curiosity. Whether they are protected by law, guarded by nature, or sealed away by past mistakes, they force us to confront the limits of exploration in a world that seems increasingly accessible. If this video made you see our planet from a new perspective, make sure to support the channel by liking this video, as it helps this content reach more curious minds. Subscribe now if you want to keep exploring the hidden, mysterious, and unexplained corners of the world with us. And most importantly, comment below which forbidden island shocked you the most, or if there is another restricted place you think deserves a deep dive in a future video. Your interaction shapes the next journey, and the next mystery might be closer than you think.